Okay, KK. Let me know if you can hear me. Definitely hit me down in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. I know it's been a while. It's definitely been a while. But we're gonna talk about some good stuff tonight. For sure. Loud and clear. All right, that's what I wanted to see. Okay. So welcome back. We're coming up on the end of 2025. And I know I've been MIA. If you've been a part of the Discord, I've been active in the Discord, but yeah, it's been a lot of stuff going on. I know I have plenty of videos that I need to create. Trust me, I know it's coming. But one of the things that we're going to talk about today, if you've seen it in the title, I know I had a few people in the Discord was like, yeah, we need to talk about what's happening with this AI and this RAM and all this different type of stuff. And so, yeah, we definitely going to get into that. We are definitely going to get into that. So I think the biggest thing, it's definitely been a year in itself. We've been having like so much stuff going on, and I'm not going to get into the whole politics and all that different type of stuff, but it's been a lot. In the tech world, it's been crazy. We had everything from, people, trying to figure out whether or not Star Citizen, that's crazy. But I know we had a lot of people just trying to figure out, okay, hey, should I get into the 5000 series and stuff like that? I've pretty much tried I tried the top three 5090s. So if and I actually got a few more videos that I need to do on the I don't even know if you could be able to see this. It might not come up on the camera well. Let me see if I can do it this way. Yep. So this is the latest 5090 that I have, which is the Supreme. So I know it's because of like my background. And matter of fact, let me see if I can be able to change this real quick so you can be able to see it. Because I got a couple other things that I definitely want to show on screen. Let me see if it'll let me do this. Change this filter real quick. All right, cool. Okay. So yeah, I definitely just want to show this real quick. So this is the latest 5090 that I have. If you've been following me and paying attention, you know that I've tried. The first 5090 I had was the Astra, which is an absolutely phenomenal card. I know a lot of people was asking me, like, hey, why do you get rid of the Astra? Well, I got rid of it so I could be able to get the 9950X 3D. And then I had the, what was it? The Gigabyte 5090. Great card, but you know the issues that I had with that when it came to like the pumping out of the thermal grease and all that different type of stuff. So that's how I ended up with the Supreme, which is honestly, those are pretty much the top 3 5090s that you could be able to get, the flagships. Anything outside of that, and I know people was asking me, okay, hey, which one, should you get? Honestly, the Supreme is the quietest, coolest. It's not the fastest. And I know a lot of people was like, oh, which one is fastest? The Astro is the fastest. And definitely the Gigabyte card, the Oris Master came in right up under that. And the Supreme, when I'm talking about fast, I'm talking about clock speeds. The Supreme came in like right in third place when it comes to that. But really, once you get up into the 5090, you really don't care about which one is the fastest. Honestly, you really don't. You just need a CPU that could be able to keep up with it, and whatever you're gaming on and stuff like that just needs to be right. So, but I will say the Supreme is the best. So if you was wondering which one is the best 5090, I'm telling you right now, it's the Supreme. It's again the quietest, fastest card. It's like super quiet. It's crazy. So not the fastest, but it's the quietest and the coolest. All right. So a couple other things I want to talk about real quick. MSI 5090 gang all day. That's what I'm talking about, Repo. Like for real. It is. Team Red. Hey, it's nothing wrong with Team Red, honestly. I will say with Team Red, I would like to try out like the 9070 XT. But the experience that I had with the 7900 XTX, it just wasn't good. I didn't have a good experience. I know some people, everybody user experience is a little bit different. I think the issues that I ran into probably wasn't necessarily the card itself. I think it was just the driver issues. Now, NVIDIA had their own set of driver issues as well. So I'm not going to get into that. They did have some driver issues early on when the 5000 series released, but NVIDIA is definitely consistent when it comes to like fixing their stuff. And so for my workflow and stuff like that and things that I do, NVIDIA works the best. So, but I know I did a video on social media. So if you follow me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, or well, pretty much those two, the ones I'm active on the most. I know this is like unicorns, right? So I know a lot of people, they've been trying to get their hands, and it was like, damn, where you get all this? Where you get this RAM from? Let me see. Let's see. And how long would they be making cars again? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the future. We're gonna talk about that a little bit too, Money Mike, about how long graphics cards gonna be made. We're gonna get into that. This definitely gonna be a part of the stream. He said somebody rich. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, it's like I know like my nephew has been trying to get at me. He was like, hey, when I'm trying to do a bill, you know what I'm saying? Let me but I'm telling you, like these, especially this Trident Z Neo, this is like a hot commodity right now. But even these are a hot commodity too. I mean, they're 6,000 mega transfers, and they're all like different. So like these are CL 36, 36, 36, 96, which is not bad. But 32 gigabyte, it's like the minimum that you need right now. They are 32 gigabyte sticks. And I've been trying to figure out whether or not I should sell them or, do a giveaway or something like that. Maybe if we hit 12,000 subs or maybe 15,000 subs, which I'm really about to start back ramping up the videos. And that's going to be before 2026. So like in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see like a lot of videos come out they're going to be doing. But if I could hit 15,000 subs, which is, very possible. I think we're close to like 12,000 right now. But if I could hit 15,000 subs, I would definitely give away at least one of these kits. And I may save, other two, maybe try to do another build or whatever the case may be. But right now, and I really don't know, which is one of the things we're going to talk about tonight. So as you can see on the screen, you probably can't see that on the screen. So let me fix that real quick. Okay. All right. So kind of move myself out of the way a little bit. But yeah, Money Mike, I'm a little rich right now because if these prices keep going up, and we're going to talk about the prices too, then I don't know. I probably got about $1,000 worth of RAM just sitting right here with these three kits, which is crazy, by the way. But Micron. So I know this whole AI thing, right? A lot of people are trying to like, oh, we should boycott. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be an AI bubble and all this different type of stuff. I'm going to tell y'all something. The AI stuff is not going anywhere. I'm just going to be real with you. It's really not. It's not going anywhere. And the reason why it's not going anywhere is because too many companies have invested into data centers. And let me tell you something. Micron pulling out of the consumer business is crazy. And that means that they're making so much money, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the consumer, when it comes to the actual, the business sales. So everything, sell it to other business, they're making probably anywhere between 10 to 20 times the amount of money that they normally would, when it comes to dealing on the consumer basis. They're not making enough money, air quotation marks, because they make a lot of money, period. But the amount of money that they make from business to business sales is handle if it's like booming right now. But it's interesting that they're pulling out of the consumer market. So you have like Micron, what's that? HK Hynix. So you have Hynix, who also produces, and then you have Samsung. So you have like Micron, Hynix, and Samsung were like your major producers when it came, when it came to like memory chips. And memory chips is not just affecting just the, the gaming market, consumer desktop market. It's affecting like everything, like everything that you like, smartphones, you know what I'm saying? We talking about laptops, memory cards. We got prices going up on, what is that? I think, and I know we're going to talk about the prices a little bit, but I think prices are going up on, they're talking about GPUs because, there's a version like on the 5000 series, it's DDR7, right? Which we're not even close to that on the actual desktop market, but still it's about the fabrication of the chips, right? So it's a lot of stuff that's happening. It's a bulk sale, repo, bulk sales, all that truckload shipments, one customer instead of a pallet or less to reach to the stores. That's right. That's correct. And they're making hella money. You know what I'm saying? They're making a lot of money. But when you start thinking about, okay, so the major players, so what does this mean? The question that I really have, like personally, just from a PC enthusiast standpoint and a person that just loves tech, loves to build PCs and stuff like that, what's going to happen with the other players? Like, will this also cause them to move? Will it boost their business on the consumer market? What you talking about, some Hynix and Samsung. And from what I've seen in the past, Hynix makes the best memory chips. Micron was okay, but a majority of that stuff was like for, ECC memory and stuff like that. So them pulling out, their crucial business out of the consumer market is major, but it's not major. So when it comes to like some of the best memory chips, it's between, Hynix and Samsung, and Hynix actually makes the best out of the two. Samsung chips, especially if you was talking about tuning your memory and stuff like that, they're okay, but they're not better than like Hynix. If you have some Hynix memory, which I think this Trident Z definitely, these are Hynix chips that's on here. Now these two, I'm really not 100% sure if these are Hynix chips or not, but I will say, they're all G-Skill, and G-Skill usually does a pretty good job with supplying like the Hynix chips. So, 5000 series GPUs are going, they're going up. So we're going to talk about that too. But it also affects, and I just recently read something about if you was looking at getting some M.2 chips for storage, that's going up. So it's like, okay, like what the hell? What is going on? Let's see. Saw the price jump on a DDR5 RAM I bought last year from Ryzen 7 bill. Ouch. Yeah. So this right here, and this is actually on Micron's website. And so not only are they pulling out of consumer business, but like the whole division stuff that they have for the consumer market, they are pretty much, they told their people that, we're just going to reassign you somewhere else within the company, that's going to be open. So you got people losing jobs and all types of stuff. So it's crazy, which that's been a thing that's been a part of the economy anyway. A lot of people have been losing their jobs. If you work for the federal government, I feel sorry for you because, that's crazy. But anyway, so when it comes to these prices, though, look at this. So actually, one of these kits that I was just looking at, I think this one, well, actually, this is for 64 gigs, but just a regular Flare X5. And so $619 is crazy. Like, if you would have told me that this was going to be happening, and man, I honestly, and this is just for 64 gigs, like in my current gaming system right now, I got, what is it? It's T-Create 48 gigabyte kit. It's a 7200 megahertz kit, but I have an overclock to 8000 megahertz. That I have paired with the 5090 and the 9950X 3D, which is crazy. But I think that kit, I'm gonna look that kit up in a second. But I think that kit is like crazy, man. I paid like $200 for it sometime last year. Was it earlier this year? Sometime last year. I don't even know. But now that kit is crazy. But if you want to get 64 gigabytes of RAM, it's crazy. G Skill, and this is just 6,000 mega transfers. We're not even talking about anything like special. Let's see. NVIDIA is telling vendors to source their own VRAM. Oh, yes, they are. NVIDIA is. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that up, that article up. Let me see. Oh, VRAM. So that was another thing. Appreciate that, Repo. They was talking about that too. I saw it on Tom's Hardware. So, and this is another issue. So NVIDIA, obviously, for all the add-in board partners, and when I say add-in board, that's like ASUS, MSI, Gigabyte, Palette, all those different types, and those are add-in board partners. NVIDIA supplies the actual chips, and just like in this picture right here, NVIDIA supplies the actual reference boards to them, and then they use those as a reference, and typically it would have the actual the memory chips, the VRAM on the boards, but now they're going to start supplying the actual boards without the actual VRAM, which is crazy. So it's like now you're competing. So the add-in board partners was already competing with NVIDIA because NVIDIA has been producing their own Founders Edition. So it's like now it's even more competition between your own partners, business partners, which is crazy. And so I don't know how that's going to work in the future. Obviously, it's going to cause prices to go up. And I think we've been starting to see that happen as well, because I'm going to tell you, like I went on, let me see if I could duplicate this tab. I went on Micro Center's website the other day and I didn't see any like RTX 5090s. Let me see something. Like I said, now what is going on? Now, when I went on here the other day, see, like, even in this location, like, they don't have any, and here, saying, I'm in Atlanta. So there are, I'm lucky to have 2 Micro Centers here in Atlanta, which is crazy. But out of both of them, like the other day, I only saw the actual 5090 liquid cooled Astro, which is, and it was on sale. It jumped back up to 3,700, which is crazy. Now I know I paid around about this amount, which is crazy in itself. But these prices are going back up. Usually, like, I remember like some months ago, you could get these like they was heavily discounted. That's how I ended up getting my Supreme for like 2,700 or something like that. And so, which is still a crazy number, but it's not as crazy as what you're seeing right here. And so it's been fluctuating, but it's going back up because of the VRAM and stuff like that too. Let me see what we got. Kits were free with some of the motherboard combos. Yeah. And I don't even think Micro Center is doing those bundles anymore. I'm going to check on that to see if they're doing that. Repo. Talk about, nothing to talk about, just who am I? Yeah. No remorse for companies going back. Yeah, that's like the name of the game right now, though. What is the future going to look like, right? Like, what's the future going to look like? Like we got CES that's coming up. I heard it's probably going to end up being like the worst CES, because, what are you going to show? And people are not building the computer system like they used to. So we going back into a situation where GPUs did kind of stabilize for a little bit, but now, it's going back up. And then along with RAM prices, like going up 500%, the 5080 is still high. I wonder what the 9070 XT. So the 9070 XT is been pretty decent. I think This was the MSRP was around about 600. So they still have some in the car, so you can still do that. But that's if you rock with AMD. You can still get a pretty good price for it. But they've also just announced a 10% increase on their stuff. I think for their graphics cards and also for their CPUs. Which, speaking of CPUs, I think they just announced they kind of quietly announced the 9850X3D is supposed to be around about 4 to 5% faster. Like I don't know why they're doing this, but it really doesn't make sense. Let me see. What we got? DDR5 RAM needs DDR5 main boards, and most old main board company is going to be they're making main boards now. Yeah. And what's crazy, I never did upgrade. So it's crazy that you said that. I never upgraded to the 870 series for AMD. I'm still on a 670E main board. So I never upgraded to 870. 870 seemed like it was just kind of like a whitewash. I didn't see the need for it, but that was another thing. Let me see. Micro Center is doing motherboard and CPU deals, but nothing with the free or discounted RAM kit. Wow. So let's actually go back to Micro Center and see what if you were to get a 9800 X3D. Oh no, let me see. Add a 32 gigabyte G-Skill RAM kit or 32 gig Corsair RAM kit and save more. So how much are you saving? So let's look. So if I add this to the cart, so if you get a 9800 X3D with a B650E, and I don't recommend B650, but let's just say you're just trying to save some money. If you did that, and if you add it in, normally they'll give you some RAM options, but let's just say you chose the cheapest G-Skill. Let me see what y'all got. Just another reason to convert if you're still on DDR4. Right. Same MSI Ace X670E for me. Yeah, Repo, I'm telling you, and you already know what board I got, and that's that Asus Gene board that they don't make anymore, by the way, which is crazy. But so if we add it, so it looks like this was probably one of the cheapest kits. Or you could get one 16 gigabyte stick, which I wouldn't do this, by the way. This is made for dual channel. Don't do that. Let's see. So if we add this to the cart, let's view the cart. Let's see how much we save. I don't see that you're saving anything. Let me see something. Can I check out as a guest? Yeah. Oh, they want you to go through all that. I'm not doing it. But typically you could be able to see some of the updates. I don't see. So yeah, Repo, you're right. I don't see any. They're definitely not doing it where you get the free RAM kit anymore, obviously. But they said that there's supposed to be a discount. I don't see the discount. This was already $329. This was already $479. They're basically kind of like just really giving you, from what the 9800 X3D used to cost, they're basically just giving you the motherboard for free. But yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. Newegg usually has a bundle savings. We're going to check out Newegg. Yeah, one stick of RAM for like $164 is crazy. So, which reminds me, so hopping over to Newegg, if you want, so this same, I think I got this same kit that's right here. Yeah, I do. So this one right here, which is the Flare X 6000 mega transfers 32 gigabyte kit, I have the same kit, and it says on the back of here, now even the price on the back of here was crazy, but they was giving these kits away for free during the bundle series with Micro Center. So, but the same, like you could have gotten this kit for like $80 between 80 and 90 bucks before all of this stuff started happening. Now this same kit is $349, which is crazy. Same time as and everything. That's insane. And then this kit right here, the Neo 532 gigabyte kit, 30, 38, 38, 96, which is this kit here, what I showed you earlier. I got the same kit. Yep. CL 30, 38, 38, 96. You could have gotten this for like 115 bucks, something like that. Now it's almost $400, which is insane. So yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, really, with all three of these kits in my hand right now, easily $1,000. Like, that's crazy. I don't get it. But, you know, normally I know, let me see, Froggy, why it's a Newegg usually has bundle savings. I'm wondering, so let's take a look at a 9800 X3D. Let's see. So they're doing a free MSI Mac Core. Oh, okay. So if you buy a 9800 X3D, they're throwing in a liquid cooler, which is cool, but they're not touching anything else. Let me see about a 870E board. So I'm wondering, let me see, X870E bundle. What are they bundling together? So they're doing a GPU motherboard combo. Interesting. I'm not seeing any other. Oh, so it looks like some of their bundles are out of stock. So let me see. The X870E. Now, ASRock, I would stay away from ASRock, to be honest with y'all, because I think ASRock is still frying AMD CPUs for some particular wild reason. Let's see. Log into my Microsoft combo deal saves about 60 bucks on. Oh, okay. So if you log, so Money Mike down in chat. So if you log into your Micro Center account, that's where you see the actual discount. Okay, that makes sense. 60 bucks is not bad. Click on the one that you want and it will show you the bundles. Okay. But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't rock with the ASRock boards, no. But $479 for a ROG Strix 870E-E gaming board, along with the RAM 32. That's actually not bad for $479, which is probably the reason why it's out of stock. So that's not a bad deal. That's actually a pretty good deal. Let's see. Just had an ASRock motherboard die after BIOS update. Not a user error. Super mad. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, repo, it's still inflated. You're right about that. You're absolutely right about that. Let's see. That's crazy. All right. Let me see. It might be the only vendor left after the dust settles. It might be. I don't know. Which is crazy. And let me see what Amazon. So we was looking at Amazon earlier. I think what we're also going to probably start seeing is different other RAM manufacturers coming out the woodwork. Now, see, you know, when we were talking about the Crucial stuff, so a lot of the stuff that they were selling wasn't like your high-end gaming stuff, like with the G-Skill, the Trident Z, and, you know, like your Corsair Avenger, stuff like that. A lot of things from Crucial were kind of the things that you normally wouldn't buy, like Team Group has already been. Oh, speaking of Team Group. So let me see something. DDR5 48. I just want to see how much this RAM kit that I'm currently using is. 7200 T Create. So to be more careful. Okay, so I'm trying to see which one do I have. So I have this actual white kit, but not this specific kit. I actually have the 7200 megahertz version, 48 gigabytes, so which is currently unavailable. I'm trying to see where can I go, see how much this costs. It's actually a really good kit of memory. Let's see. Hey man, it's pretty easy if you're in a big city. You can afford everything if you just that's funny. Team Group sources some chips from Micron, but also Hynix and Samsung. Yes, they do. And I can tell you the kit that I have is Hynix memory. Let me see if they have it listed at Micro Center. Yeah, so I have the same kit, and I promise you, I only paid like a little bit over $200 for it a while back. Now it's $500. Insane. And this is a great kit of memory too, because like I said, when I was using this, I was originally using it with my 14900K, which I actually still have. That's what I'm streaming off of right now. But I threw a different kit of memory in there and just kind of overclocked it to like 6400 megahertz because I don't use it for a whole lot of other things. But with the 7200 megahertz kit, I bought it for the 14900K, but I put it in my AMD rig, and I overclocked it to 8,000, and it's like real easy with the board that I have. But so this is more than double of what I paid, which is crazy. That's insane. So yeah, I have the white version of this, and it's insane. Let's see what we got. Yes, Micron RAM. So Micron was making the Crucial line. So that's like some of the stuff that we were looking at on Amazon. So if we go back here, Micron makes if you see, let me go back one more. So Micron makes these. They make the Crucial lineup, and this was their consumer part of the business that we was talking about, where they're getting out of, and they're not making. They're going to sell out of whatever they have, and they're not making any more. It's all going to be going to AI data centers and business to business. So I'm gonna tell you, I thought the 48 gigabyte was weird too until I started using different programs and started realizing that even though I want 64 gigs, 48 was actually turned out to be pretty good for me, especially for gaming and stuff like that. So it's more than 32, less than 64. And what I noticed, the more RAM that you have for gaming, the better your 1% lows are. And that's a test that I actually want to do and show. So that's going to be a little bit later on down the line. Yeah, so that's going to be very interesting. What they're going to be doing on that. But let me know down in the chat, like, has the RAM, like, are you still looking for GPUs? Has the RAM kind of stopped you from doing any upgrades to your system? Are you pretty much holding on to what you have? I definitely want to know, like, where are you in your PC enthusiast line right now? Like, what do you plan on doing? Let me see. Just dropped $400 on the 32 gigabyte set from Crucial when I built a PC a month ago. Man, more power to you, man, because that's a lot. I remember when, like, back in the day, back before all these GPU sales and stuff started going up, you could have got you a decent GPU, a decent 1440p GPU for $400. And like seeing people spend that on RAM is insane. I'm rocking DDR4, happy with my 32 gigabyte kit. That works. And a lot of people, especially if you're on the Intel side, or if you haven't upgraded to like an X670E board or X870E, you're probably still rocking DDR4. And if you're playing 4K or 1440p, you're not missing out on a whole lot. Especially if you're in the mid range. So it still works, and you have some people, especially on the Intel side, they are still rocking DDR4 and they're overclocking their RAM and doing all type of stuff. So it still works. Especially if you're playing 4K. RAM doesn't really matter that much for 4K gaming. So hope to get another 2 more years out of my 8-year-old pre-built. Okay. 8 years is a long time in the PC world. Not gonna lie. But I can actually, if you're not changing your stuff that much, especially like your motherboard and CPU, then I can see the long range, But one of the reasons why I never did a custom liquid cooled system, and if you're part of Discord, we talk about this stuff all the time. Part of the reason why I did that, I switched my stuff so much, like between the graphics card, CPU. I mean, in the past few years, I probably changed my CPU probably about 3 or 4 times. So I'm always testing stuff out. But if you don't switch your stuff that much, then it doesn't matter that much. Repo, I'm just looking to upgrade my CPU at this point. Maybe add 8 terabyte. Oh, I'm so glad you brought it up. So let's take a look at the M.2s. So like if you wanted a 4 terabyte M.2, what is it going for right now? Because I heard that these prices are starting to go up. And so like this Crucial, which is also made by Micron, which is crazy. Crucial P310, this 4 terabyte. This is going up because this was not $344. I'm gonna tell you right now. I think the P310 was on the low end, if I'm not mistaken. When I say low end, meaning that it was like on the low end of not the best of the best. So it seems like these prices are going up. The 990 Pro is still hovering. Like this used to be like $299, and there were some deals that was going for like $275 or something like that not too long ago. So it definitely seems like these prices are definitely going up. Oh, 4 terabyte. Okay. I got you. Let's see. Yeah, so we're definitely gonna take a look at some AIOs. So I went inside Micro Center the other day and I was like, what the hell is going on with the AIOs? But they are definitely going up in price too. But yeah, so my next M.2 is definitely going to be a Samsung drive. I'm not going to do a Gen 5. I don't like the speeds are great, but we don't have anything that's remotely going to use almost 15,000, you know what I'm saying, megabits per second. It's not going to, we don't have anything. So unless you're just doing like large data transfers and stuff like that, you really don't need it. I would definitely stick with a 990 Pro. Like I have a 2 terabyte 990 Pro, works wonders, super fast, reliable. I think I'm gonna get me a 4 terabyte drive to throw in the main system. It's gonna replace one of those other drives that I have. But let me see, 360 AIOs. But I was at Micro Center the other day and I was looking at some of these prices for these AIOs and they're like crazy. Like the Trix. Now, the Trix panorama is nice. It comes with that LCD screen that kind of wraps around. And honestly, it looks good. It looks real good. But $279, it ain't that good. No, I'm not paying almost $300 for a AIO. It's not happening. I think the last AIO I purchased was a Lian Li Galhead 2. Actually, it was this one. So this is actually this is really good. I'm actually using this particular AIO on my 14900K. $120. That's all you need. And then you could go get your own. Now the one that I bought comes with RGB fans. I think I paid maybe like 150 for it or stuff like that, or whatever. But yeah, I wouldn't spend no more than about $150 on an AIO. Like this 359, crazy. Wouldn't do it. Even $200, I think that's a lot of money for AIO. It just is. And then what's crazy, Lee & Lee is even selling this Hydro Shift, which is actually a pretty cool AIO, but they're selling it with no fans. It's fanless for $159. Crazy. So yeah, I don't know about that. But yes, Lee & Lee AIOs, they are solid. They work. They just work. Look at this. The Asus Ryzen, $429 for that is ridiculous. Like, I would not. I definitely. So yeah. So this is I don't have that one. Let's see. Yeah, it's not too many. Oh, here it is, and it's still $150. This is the one that I have that's cooling my 14900K, so it still works. Works fine, dude. When I was building a month ago, the same RAM was more expensive in the non-RGB version than the RGB one. Oh, that's crazy. Rate of fair, that is crazy. So, but I think a lot of people are kind of moving to doing those non-RGB. It's like I would love to. So, like I'm going to rebuild my system. I know I've been talking about it for a while, but the case that it's two cases I've been looking at. One is the Lee & Lee Mini V2 Flow. So like this case, which when I was just in Micro Center the other day, they were out of stock. But I think I may try to pick this up this week. I don't know yet. But one thing I like about this case is that it comes with 3 fans at the bottom, and they're all 120 millimeter fans, and then 2 fans on the side. So it comes with a total of 5 fans. And I thought about just doing just a non-RGB build. The only problem with this case is that it's compact, which I want I want a smaller case with great airflow, which this one pretty much has. The only problem with this though is the 5090 and trying to, like, if you look at the side here, so the 5090 is like crazy wide. So I don't know if I've seen some people use like different cables and they have like this 16 pin connector come across the top of it instead of going up under the bottom. I don't know how I would do that. So that'll be something I'll be playing around with about that. Let's see, get it reversed. So it's there for you. I built my Ryzen 7700 in the 2024, so no plans to upgrade. Okay. Do get the 3500X. It's a great case. I love it. 5090 will fit, and it's not super big. So 3500X. Who is that made by? Ray Fair. Let me look. 3500X case. Oh, the Corsair. It's a Corsair case. So that actually looks pretty dope. I mean, for $8 or $9, you can't beat that either. And it comes with 3 RGB fans. Something, and you got it in black. Okay. Yeah, it is. That's a really good deal. Do you have to run the RGB? Do you have to run RGB software? It has a bunch of customizations too. I mean, But Mike, I kind of get what you're saying. Like, do you have to run RGB? You really don't. But sometimes, like, depending on the fans and stuff that you get, they may not be solid black. So it'll still show up white. So it just depends. But I would like to take a look at this. So another case that I was looking at was the Haven. So it seems like Haven, it's the B360 flow? Because they've been making, okay. Maybe it's not B360. What is it? Let me see. Oh, it's BF360. Okay. Micro Center is a little funny. Like, you have to be almost exact. So here's another case I've been looking at, but actually in black. And I wonder. Okay, here we go. So, and it's out of stock. So this was just in stock the other day when I went to it. But I know it doesn't look that spectacular, but let me tell you, I've seen some reviews on this case. It's a little on the expensive side, but it comes with 280 millimeter fans on the front, which is crazy. And you see that part down at the bottom? It has like this scoop. And so you could kind of reposition the fans, but it's made for airflow. So it's like the two fans on the front, you have 280 millimeter fans, and then it's 140 millimeter fan on the back. And you could do a 360 AL at the top. And it has like a bunch of different options, stuff that you have. But this is another case that I've been looking at. And it comes with this GPU bracket support, like built in to it. But it looks pretty dope. And it has like a bunch of things. But I just been looking for a good airflow case. So this is one of the ones I've definitely been looking at. Yes. Yeah, it definitely kind of reminds me of the Asus Pro Art case, which those are like super nice, super premium. It does remind me of that. I have the Haven HSVG. Oh yeah, repo. Yeah, I know. And I was thinking about getting that one, but I was like, I don't want to add all those fans. I was trying to really kind of because it doesn't come with any fans. So you got to add all the fans that you want to add. And I know I'll go overboard, you know what I'm saying, with the actual fans. But that Haven, that Haven, that 420 case, it's crazy. But yeah, I wasn't trying to add those fans in, like for real. Like I wasn't trying to do that because like even on this case, I wouldn't have to purchase any fans. And that's a goal. And I wasn't really trying to run into RGB. So it's like $200. It's actually pretty good. So you have all the airflow coming in from the front. You got 140 millimeter on the back. And I'm just going to pretty much just throw everything else in that's in the system right now. You know, the GPU, the motherboard, the AIO and stuff like that. Because I'm still like on the 9950X3D, I'm still rocking the NZXT joint that comes with the LCD screen, which is still pretty cool. So I still rock that. Let me see. Money Mike, what you got? Oh, Corsair 9000D. Yeah. That's a big ass case. Let me see. Money Mike, you still got the O11 dynamic. Flashbacks with buying all those. I know. That's what I'm saying, which is what I'm still. That's the reason why I haven't even, I said by the time I replace all the fans in my O11, I could have just bought like another case that comes with great airflow and stuff like that. So that's why I haven't upgraded the fans yet. Let me see. I got the Be Quiet Light Base 600DX case. Personally love it. Oh, nice. Okay. Like I've looked at the Be Quiet cases, and those are pretty dope too. Let's see. Yo, what do you think about the PC case, the NZXT H9 Flow? Okay, so it's funny you said that. The NZXT H9. I think I have the H7 Flow. I got the H7 Flow that I'm using on the H9 Flow. So I thought about this case too. And I have the H7 Flow that I'm using with the 14900K and 4090, which everything fits pretty dope. And that came with 3 fans like on the side, which like with this one, it comes with 4, which is pretty cool. So you got 3 fans, you got 320 millimeter fans on the side for intake. Then you got another 120 in the back. All I would have to do is add 3 fans at the bottom, and then the AIO will be at the top. This is actually pretty cool. So for $119, that's not bad. It's actually not bad at all. Let's see. Yeah, I know Big One makes good stuff. Can it play? That's funny. So yeah, that's some of the things I've been thinking about. Let me see. Let me see what's on Amazon when it comes to the 5090s. Let's see. So they still got the Astro. Like, I'm saying this, and I know I spent this amount of money initially when I bought the Astro, and it was like, I came to my senses on that though, because I was like, yo, I could get a 9950 X3D and still get a 5090 for the same amount of money. It's crazy. This is a phenomenal card, but not worth the money. So yeah, these prices are still high on the 5090s, but that's because we don't have any competition from AMD. And I really wish, that we would. But I think, I'm gonna tell you something. I think what AMD went wrong, they started focus on the consoles. So now, speaking of consoles, I mean, if you could get a PlayStation 5 for the same amount of money as a, 64 gigabyte kit of RAM, it's like $500. And honestly, if you just got a kid, they just trying to play games, console right now. Like I'm not a console player like I used to be. Like I used to have a PS5 before it went crap on me. I've been thinking about still picking up another PS5, like a PS5 Pro, maybe when the prices go down, but I only wanted to play Wolverine and GTA 6 because with those 2 games, they're not going to release on PC right offhand. And I think that's very strategic. Which the prices may go up on the PS5s later on because, again, memory chips. So that's another thing. Let's see. That's a nice case. I know in other cases they built in the filters. Yep. Let's see. What the fuck? That colorful card is $3,600. I know the colorful card, $3,600, which is crazy. Yeah, it's liquid cool, but $3,600 is crazy. Yeah, that's what my next gen consoles is going to look like with the current RAM prices. Yo, so speaking of that, like if you wanted to buy a PS5 Pro, we're not even going to even talk about Xboxes anymore. We already know what's happening with the Xboxes. So there's no way I would pay $650 for a PS5 Pro. So I'm hoping that by the time Wolverine game comes out, GTA 6 comes out, that hoping by that time, these will drop down to maybe in the 5-ish, or maybe I can get a used one or a refurbished one or something like that. Just so I can be able to play those games. That's really about it. It's only like 2 games. Everything else is on PC. So, let's see if they can figure out if they figured. I don't know, Rip. I was trying to understand what you were saying. Okay, AMD also started naming their GPUs after NVIDIA. Yeah, they did. This is even worse than the GPU stuff that went down. I sold a used car for 2 times what I have gotten it for. Yeah, yeah, this is bad. Like, this is bad. Just like, I don't even like Corsair Avengers memory, but a 64 gigabyte kit and it's only 6,000 mega transfers should not cost $875. Period. I don't know. I just don't know. And the same type of chips are using everything. Yes. And see, that's the other problem. So that's another thing, saying that when we were talking about the memory shortage. So they was talking about the AI data centers. So I know a lot of people So I'm like, oh, you should boycott Nvidia. You should boycott AMD with the graphic card. That does not work. Let me tell you something. It didn't work when they were mining. You remember that? You know what I'm saying? That didn't work. You know, the people are just going to continue to buy. They're going to buy, and use it for whatever they're going to use it for. Really, with the AI company like type stuff, they need to figure out how to invest back into the market. I just don't, it's like, it's going to take those companies, those AI companies failing. That's really what it's going to take. But the more success they have, the worse it is. So it's going to take some of these companies failing to say, okay, hey, and I don't see that really happening anytime soon because they've been investing so much money into AI stuff. It's like it's been crazy. So I don't know. What's wrong with Corsair Vengeance, the DDR5? Fill me in. You know what? To me, a lot of like the Corsair memory, so I'm gonna go back to it. So like a lot of the Corsair Vengeance memory is like Samsung based. And like if you're really into like overclocking your RAM and tweaking, Samsung is really not that great, you know, when it comes to doing that, you know. But if you're not into that type of stuff, works fine. Like this particular kit, I don't know if it's going to tell me. Let's look it up. Let's see if we could be able to find out who makes the chips. Usually it's Samsung. Sometimes you could be able to tell by the memory timings. Like this may be Hynix. And the reason why it may be Hynix is because of the timings on it. So like 30, 36, 36, 76, I don't know. That might be Samsung. But let's see. Sometimes it'll tell you, sometimes it won't. Sometimes you have to go looking. But if you like to really, it does not belong. Okay, so this one does not belong to Samsung. So more than likely it's Hynix. But if we looked at, they like to use Samsung though for a lot of their stuff. But if we looked at something weird, let's see, which one is this one? See, 36, 44, 44, 96. This is probably Samsung. You're right about AOs are not going to pay. Yep, not going to pay over 200. 2023, I bought a 32 gigabyte DDR5, 6,000, 108 bucks. That's right. Now it's $400. I know. And Microsoft doesn't even give a reach around for the price. They don't. I've seen it like firsthand. They're not doing anything when it comes to it. Usually you could be able to go inside Micro Center and get even when they were doing like some of the 5090s and stuff like that, you could usually get a better deal at Micro Center, but they're not doing that on the RAM. I don't know what's going on. Optimizing. Well, it's saying it's not a Samsung product, but it's like, I don't think it's Hynix either. Sometimes you could be able to go to like the manufacturer's website and it'll tell you. But I know for the person that asked me about the Corsair Vengeance, it's just a user preference. I don't like how they look. Some people like how they look. Yeah, I mean, and it works. If it works, it works. But I just have a preference when it comes to, I've like never had any issues with any of the G-Skill kits that I purchased, but it's just a preference. Now I do like the Corsair Dominator RAM kits, but they're also overpriced. It's like buying Asus. Let's see. Like the Dominator stuff is like crazy high. Look at this shit. 64 gigabyte, $724. 32 gigabyte kit, $400. Like the Dominator stuff, but it looks good though. But it's just crazy expensive. I got lucky. Let me see. Saw an article that Samsung is starting to take back the crown from SK Hynix and HBM. So yeah, the HBM is the high bandwidth memory chips, which is what AMD used to use on some of their older graphics cards when it came to the VRAM. Got lucky and got some RAM right before all of this crap started. Have 64 gigabytes of DDR5 memory and as well as 64 gigabytes of DDR4. Oh, nice. Historic travels. Let me see. I survived a video game crash at 83. I'm sure I could power. Oh, that's hilarious. 470 Ti Pro Art GPU has Micron GDDR6X RAM. Interesting. Those Pro Art GPUs, I've had one. Super nice. I mean, like overclockers look down at MDI a lot by SK Hynix. Haven't used them yet. Now, I will tell you, Real Tech Geek, that the T-Create kit that I have, let me see. So this kit right here is what I'm using. This is MDI. And so I figured that out by just doing some, and this is what I'm currently using with the 9950X3D. It is MDI, but I haven't had any issues with it. I think if you're trying to really do some extreme stuff, like I have that overclocked to, it's sitting at 8,000. It's a 7200 megahertz kit, but it's sitting at 8,000. And I have that overclocked, and but the board, I know when it comes to that type of stuff, it's a lot has to deal with silicon lottery. Like the board that I have is a X670E Gene board. It's a 2 RAM slot board, which is kind of made for the higher clocks of the memory. So, but I was able to dial in like manual stuff, and it's 8,000 mega transfers, no issue. Let me see. That set is in Norway, costs about $1,284. Jeez Louise. Felt terrible paying almost $900 for a 64 gigabyte vintage RAM. God dang. Whew. That's crazy. Yeah. I'm telling you, and I know a lot of people that were saying, oh, okay, hey, you shouldn't do that with AMD CPUs because it's not going to use it. I do more than just gaming. And so I do a lot of data heavy stuff, file transfers. And I'm telling you right now, when you have a CPU like a 9950X3D and you got 8,000 megahertz RAM, everything moves fast, like everything. And I still get great latency and stuff like that on the gaming. It's not as fast as like 64 100 megahertz 1-to-1 because on the 8,000 it's like 2-to-1, but it's not as fast, but it's like very close. And I game at 4K, so you really don't see a difference at all. So if you do like data heavy stuff and different type of stuff like that, trust me, 8,000 mega transfers is worth it. Yeah, my friend got 8,000 on his 9950X3D X870E Strix and got it down to 68. Yeah, that's pretty good. You know what? I don't know what mine's at. I don't know what I got it down to. Let me see something real quick. Well, I'm not going to be able to show it on here because I got so much stuff running, but I forgot what I was able to get. It's in the 60s though. I forgot what I was able to get the latency down to. Hello, here to say that I got myself 128. Man, what you doing with 128 gigabytes of RAM? That's crazy. Crucial DDR5 kit and 2 BX500, 2 terabyte. Crucial SSDs, PCIe 5, 72. Yeah. This is $1,600. I cried, but they damn near sold out after. Hey, well, as long as you're using it for something, that's all that matters. Like, really. As long as you're using it for what you need it for. Everybody has their own use case. 120, like you got to be doing some programming or something. 128 gigabytes of RAM. Or, maybe you're just an enthusiast. Maybe that's what you just want to do. I know a little bit earlier I talked about the 9850X3D. Don't fall for this bullshit from AMD. I don't know like why they are deciding to do this. Like, you're getting a boost in the clock speed, but I'm already getting this with the 9950X 3D. I don't know. You're not going to see a huge boost in performance, but I guess they're doing that market. AMD is doing the marketing thing with that, so don't fall for it. Let's see what else we got. There's something else I was looking at here earlier. Oh yeah, so I saw something that was flying around about. This is a heavy ass card, okay? So the Astro is a heavy card, and I saw something about the PCIe. Sometimes these break off depending on if you don't have the right support, stuff like that. But they're talking about, oh, if you need to replace this, it's going to cost you hell of money, and that is crazy. The card is already crazy, and $4,600 Canadian is even worse. But you having to pay that, what are they saying? Yeah, see, they're talking about something that weighs more than 3 kilograms. It is a heavy card. I had that card. It's heavy. Just know. Only makes sense if you don't already have an 8-core chip. True. All right, so looking it up, 8,000 is 2-to-1, 4K RAM speed, but still not bad. Hopefully they would fix it for the day. Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't have any issues, not with gaming, not with any of that stuff when it comes to running it 2-to-1, which you have to at 8,000 speed. Also, a 5070 Ti 16 gigabyte for $899. I'm not going to sell anything for profit. RAM is just for future LLM and server projects. Okay. Oh, large language models. See, I knew you was doing something with it. That makes sense. It's a beast for sure, and that 4 fan is loud. That 4 fan is loud. See, I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of people was asking me, "Hey, why did you get rid of it?" Repo. You already know. I told you about that 4 fan, and you was like, when you got that card, that 4 fan is loud. That 4 fan on the back, I was like, I don't know what's happening, but you have to really tune it. Now, you could tune it to get it down, but I wasn't trying to do none of that, which is the reason why I ended up getting the Supreme. I know you can't probably see it, but I talked about this earlier. I bought the Supreme. Yeah. I got the Supreme 5090. And the reason why I bought this is because guess what? They tune that card so good, you don't have to worry about it. It's the quietest 5090 that you could be able to get on the market. It's the quietest. It's also the coolest. And it's still fast as hell. Okay. Let me see. This computer has a i9 12900KS, which is still a great CPU. Fine for gaming and whatever I need done. I do need to upgrade my son's GPU next year. And Repo, I'm still rocking the 4090 with the 14900K, by the way. Yep. Finals edition. Still. I'm not, but somebody have to, I'm never getting rid of that system. I got that card for a steal, but the 4 fan was not for me. My MSI Vanguard. Yep. I'm telling you, like, they knew what they was doing when they made those, the Vanguard and the Supreme, really quiet cards when it comes to that. So, that's what this whole the AI stuff is not going away. I'm just telling y'all now, the AI stuff is not going away. It's going to get worse before it gets better. So 3 things, and let me see if I can get back in focus. Okay, so 3 things. We got GPU prices going up. We have RAM prices that already up. And then the next thing is going to be the actual, the M.2 chips, SSDs, they're going up. And glad you got that 4090 and it's still rocking for you. Yeah, man, it's still rocking, and definitely got some future content that's going to be coming up on that too. But you got these 3 major things that's going up, and it really affects everything. Cell phones, all type of stuff. Everything is going to be affected. So it's going to be interesting to see how long the AI companies stay in business. But also, I think there's a broader level when it comes to the AI stuff. And depending on what type of job that you have, you know, they talking about doing automation and stuff like that, like by 2030. And I know when you hear 2030, you think that, oh, okay, that's not that far away. 2030 is, I mean, we're basically 2025 is over with, and we're going in 2026. 2030 is going to be 4 years from now. So they're talking about like, I don't know if they were talking about like 40 to 50% of the workforce was going to be in trouble. So I'm hoping that a lot of these AI companies kind of fail because, you know, depending on what you're doing, you can see a lot worse things that's coming down the road when it comes to not just the things that we buy, but also livelihood. You know what I mean? So let me see. Thanks for the sub, Steve. He puts out good content. Hey, Steve, welcome. Sub and ring the bell. I appreciate that, Steve. If AI is not going anywhere, does that mean that the software upgrades that take the advantage of the AI performance reduce the need for hardware upgrades? You know what? So, Mike, that brings up a really good. Let me search this real quick. It brings up a real good question. So, NVIDIA. Now, I will say, NVIDIA AI. I will say one of the advantages, I was looking up something the other day where they were just talking about, is it here? So when it comes to AI and NVIDIA, I will say that one of the biggest things where if you, and this is not just NVIDIA, but this is also with AMD, because I heard that they did a really good thing with their FSR4 when it comes to AI. But I will say when it comes to like recreating the actual images that we see, so if you're running 4K, but you could be able, and I do this with Cyberpunk, like if you run 4K, right, and you want to run full ray tracing, do all this different type of stuff, if you want to use all the bells and whistles, being able to render that image at 1080p and rescale it back up to 4K without, and it's a clean image, that's AI. AI does that. I will say that is pretty dope. And that is one of the things that I like about DLSS, especially like DLSS 4. They use a lot of AI to restructuring the images and being able to run games better. Now, obviously, I don't think we're ever going to get back to a space where a lot of these games are going to be native like 4K. But I will say, like being able to run those games, and you know, it doesn't look that great on every game. So I know they're talking about here, this is what ray tracing looks like with RTX on. This is what it looks like with RTX off. Everybody has a preference. Like to me, I like the way that ray tracing looks, but it really just depends on the game that you're doing, right? So let's see. The desktop would drive you insane. DLSS is good. It just ain't perfect. Right. It's not perfect. Yeah, I thought the year 1977 meant me. I'm not a lady just from South America. You think prices were fine? Bro, I'm trying to just justify those prices so hard. Yeah, like the prices are crazy. But like I said, I will say that when it comes to, so Money Mike, going back to what you were saying earlier, yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to see something here. Then we get the jokes on wheel though. Said it already drove me there. You can already see the newest DLSS version being a massive improvement. Yes, because pricing is so out of control on the RAM, would you recommend getting one stick instead of two to save money? I'm glad you brought that up. Upsanity 6277. We was talking about this a little bit earlier. We was at Micro Center, and I think something on here said that they were selling like one stick of DDR RAM. I don't know if it was G Skill or not, but I do not recommend that you run one stick. Here it is. They were selling just one stick. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't have a computer system and you were just looking at just trying to get something started, you could possibly get away with doing one stick. I don't recommend it though. I recommend save your money, work a little overtime, do whatever it is that you got to do. If you run an AMD, get the lowest price kit that you could be able to find. Like this G-Skill Flare X5, it would be completely fine. Get this 6,000 mega transfers. You're not going to, when it comes to AMD, especially with X3D chips, you're not going to see a huge difference when it comes to like the higher being RAM and stuff like that. I would just save the money and pay the $329. I'm gonna be straight up, because you're gonna get better performance. The one stick, you're gonna incur actual huge performance penalty, like 30-40% performance hit just running one stick. I wouldn't do that. So, spend the money, get what you need, and then maybe sell it sometime in the future to get maybe some RAM that you really, really want. Oh yeah, or you could buy secondhand. That's good. Upsanity. Yeah, you can get secondhand. I've always been a proponent of. Now I don't know where you're gonna get secondhand memory from right now, but if you find some, then I would rock with that. Like for real. Let's see. What we got? You can see this pricing. There we go. Has slowed down building. Definitely, it has slowed down building. But Repo, I'm still looking for something from you, man. You gotta do another custom liquid cool build. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm scared. I'm scared to do a custom liquid build. Let's see. When I was a kid, we had a gas shortage, and you could buy more than 10 gallons at a time. That is true. Let's see. Get the 2 sticks. That's right, Money Mike. Get the 2 sticks. 64 gigabyte. Oh, this is definitely. But you don't need 60. Yeah, you don't need 64 gigabytes for gaming. 32 gigs is just enough. All right. It's becoming DDR5 dual channels, running a single RAM, 1 minute sticks. Is it designed like how DDR? That is true. Yeah, DDR5 is designed. It's not made to run like the stuff that you could be able to get away with a long time ago. Isn't DDR4 price still okay? Well, let's see. DDR4. I don't know. Let's see what we got. So here's the problem with DDR4. I do have this thing checked where it's sold out. Let me see what's still in stock. Damn. Okay. No, that's DDR5. So the only thing that's in stock in DDR4, which if you have a motherboard that's still doing that, 32 gigabyte and it's 3600 megahertz. So if you're still on that type of board, $200. It is CL18. That's crazy. So I don't know. I haven't looked at DDR4 RAM in a long time. So down in the chat, let me know what it used to be like 6 months ago. Let's see. I have 4 computers, 3 have 32 gigabytes of RAM and 64. All memory devices will be up in price, including SSDs and GPUs. That is correct. Repo, if you were building now from new, what would you rock? Okay, so you want to do a build real quick? Let's do that. Let's go to PC Parts Picker. If I was building right now, I'm going to show you what I would get. So let's start build. All right. CPU that I would choose. If this was, I'm gonna say this from a gaming standpoint, or would y'all want to see like just what I would personally do? Because I'm just gonna go off of a personal build. Like if I didn't have a system right now and I want to do a personal build that just does everything, I'm definitely doing a 9950X 3D. Just me. CPU cooler. I would probably get a now. I would still go. I like Lean Lee. I would actually go with the Hydro Shift. This is not bad. So the Hydro Shift with the LCD screen, I would probably rock this. Motherboard X870E. Now I'm not gonna do this, but I would get the actual Crosshair X870E Hero, but not the BTF. Not that one. Let me see something. Not the Extreme. Not the BTF. Yep. X8, I would get the Hero. 669 and choose memory. Now we're not looking at prices right now. I'm just showing you what I would get, how I would build my system. And I'm not looking at the chat right now because I'm trying to stay focused because I already know y'all talking about all type of stuff right now. Let me see. I would do the G Skill. Nope, not G Skill. I would actually do T Create. And it's not showing up. So maybe G Skill. Am I missing something? Oh. So I would probably end up doing the trading. I would probably get about 90. Let's see. I would do 6,400, probably 64 gigs. Trying to find it. I would do 64 gigs. It's kind of hard to find that though with the 64 gigabytes at 6,400. For right now, just for the sake of, oh, here it is. That's it right here. Crazy expensive. But I would do 64 gigs at 6,400 and I would try to run that at 1-to-1 if the motherboard could do it. Let's see. Storage. If I was building right now, definitely 4 terabyte 990 Pro. I would actually get 2 of these. Where's the other one? I would get 2 of those. Video card. Now, I know we talked about earlier about the Astro, but we're not worried about price right now. It's just what I would rock. If money wasn't an issue, for the case, I would definitely do I would rock the case that I've been wanting. I just saw it. This one, the Height Y70 Touch. It's crazy expensive. Like I wouldn't, like if I had the money, I would actually get that because of the actual touch panel. Power supply. Oof. Now, power supply, y'all know I like Seasonic. And because of the things that you're rocking, I would actually, damn, I didn't realize power supplies are so expensive. But like currently right now, I use a 1200 watt. I think it's actually this one. But I would rock with this 1200 should be good enough. And then if I had to choose a monitor, it would definitely be now I currently use the PG32 UCDM, but they have another monitor, another OLED that came out not too long ago. And it had the glossy true black. Let me see if I can find it. Asus OLED glossy true black. Just trying to get the model number of it. There it is right here. It's the XG32UCW. It's the one I would get. Boom. So this right here. All right, now I could focus back on the chat right now because I already know. Let me see. It's a great tool to use. Yep. Samsung reliable for SSDs. Yes, Samsung is reliable. I have about 4 Samsung M.2 drives. Never had an issue out of any of them. Now, I know there was an issue a while back. Like they had some stability stuff that was going on, but they did some firmware updates. Haven't ran into any issues. PC enthusiasts in my region can't build a PC at this moment, especially with SSD and RAM prices. I ordered my parts from Micro Center and went out there to pay it, pick it up, and they had a 4 terabyte 990 Evo Plus on sale. Oh, nice. Impulse buys. SSD's prices going up now. Samsung is good for storage drives. Yes, damn, I'm looking for a PSU. What do you guys think is enough for a 5070 Ti? I'm going to say get you something that's 80 plus gold and 1,000 watts. I wouldn't go anything less than 1,000 watts at this point right now. Technically, I would actually go for 1,200 watts. Now, a lot of people talked about a long time ago, my recommendation used to be 850 watts. And this was like years ago. Did a whole video on that. And now look at you. You see, you need at least, if you're trying to go high end, you need at least 1,000 watt power supply. I would recommend at least a 1,200 watt. The price difference is not that much. But this is so Repo, this is the system I would build. 9950X 3D, Lee Hydro Shift. Like this Hydro Shift is dope, especially depending on the type of case that you're going to be using. The actual cables that come down in the middle of the rad, and it's real short. So yeah, it's pretty dope. So it unless you see more of the actual case, and I'll show you like what that looks like. But yeah, I'll get an X870E Hero board. And I know a lot of people like, if you're just doing gaming, you could get just an 8-core chip. All right. So let me debunk this whole thing about 8-core chips and 16-core chips. If you do anything other than gaming, and sometimes it's not even that. Like if you ever had to sit and wait for a shader compilation, especially if it's a UE5, UE4 game, shit takes forever. Okay. If you had a 16-core chip, instead of it taking like 2-3 minutes to do a shader compilation, it gets done in like 30 seconds. I'm a very impatient person when it comes to like technology. So I'm going with whatever is going to be efficient and fast. And trust me, having a 16-core chip, especially with like how bad Windows is and stuff like that, you need something with a lot of cores. And to me, it's worth it. So I would go something that has more cores, X3D. It does everything that you could want, gaming, whatever. I would get the more cores. But anyways, 64 gigabytes of RAM. A lot of people say that you don't need that type of RAM for gaming until you start paying attention to like how much RAM some of these games are using. Like I forgot what game it was, but if you playing with all these different shaders, all the different types of stuff, your system could use up to 24 gigabytes of RAM. And that was with me using the 48 gigabyte kit. So 64 gigs is not that far off, especially when you talk about the future. The M.2s, it's the M.2s. Fast storage, I will tell you, when it comes to So a lot of times people are like, oh, you don't need that fast storage. Let me tell you something. When you're updating games or you download games and you're doing those file transfers, if you pay attention to like Steam and like some of these other, what is it? Also Epic Games Launcher, how long it's going to take you to install those updates and install those games? I'm just saying. It makes a difference. And then the Astro, that's just the fastest air cooled card that you can get on the market right now. So this Height Y70 Touch, this case is just dope. So let me just show you. And this was, like I said, this is just something I would do if money wasn't a problem. Now, this is $8,000. This is money well spent. I mean, I don't know who's spending $8,000 right now, but it's a lot of people out there that's doing it. Let's see. Down in the chat, let me see in my local store. Seasonic is a bit spendy, but their supplies are rock solid. Yeah, Seasonic. I'm using Seasonic. Like I have those power supplies in all of my systems. Is PCIe 5.0 NVMe worth it? No, it's not. We don't have anything right now that uses like that 15,000 megabits per second speed. I wouldn't get it. It's just a waste. It's really just like you having a flex. My wife has that monitor. Holy crap, it's good. Yeah, and see, like the monitor that I have is very similar to this, except that this is better when it comes to the actual, like the true black. It's something with, they upgraded. So it's like, this right here is like an upgrade to the monitor that I currently have, which I have the PG32 UCD, and I still love that monitor. So, but let me show you something about this case though. So like if we, like this case is dope. Like being able to have this touchscreen right here, and you can actually be able to customize and configure it how you want. This is a lot of money for a case. I don't recommend that you do this, but if I was building a system right now and money was an issue, this is probably the case I would get. The only other case that I was looking at was the Haven BF360, which from an airflow standpoint is like one of the best cases that you could get right now. And so, but I would get the flow version of this. This is not the flow version, I don't think. Or is it? Maybe not. But that's the only other case that I was thinking of that I would get. And so, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty dope. Let's see, it's in front of just had, I don't know what I'm saying. AMD has really dropped the ball with their November GPU drivers. I've had so many issues with the 25.11 release. So I'm gonna tell you, Jack, my experience with AMD, initially it was good. So I had a 7900 XTX and I had a 7800, I think it was a 7800 GPU, but they were fine until I started running into driver issues. That's where my bad experience came from. It was like when Black Myth Wukong first came out, man, like the drivers were, and it took such a long time for them to fix the drivers, and I know they was like, oh, NVIDIA's has driver issues. They did when the 5000 series stuff came out, but they fixed that. It took AMD forever to fix that type of stuff. And plus I use a lot of the NVIDIA like software and stuff like that. So for me, and I've only, with the NVIDIA, especially in the past couple of years, I've only gotten a high-end stuff. So I came from a 4090 Founders Edition, which I still have. And so one PC, I got a 4090, and the other PC, I got a 5090. Let's see, quad channel for the DDR5 benefits from a better motherboard. I don't know if it's better or worse for this generation. Quad channel, I don't know. I think if you're running quad channel, you're definitely trying to do like the 128 gigabyte. Man, so like if you need that that amount of RAM, then you know what I'm saying, that's definitely be something that you would look for. Guys, if you got an Acer Tough or Rod laptops, I recommend Geffler software. It's amazing. I have an old Acer laptop. Still has a, what is it? I haven't opened that thing up in so long. I think I got like it's a GTX 1050. Crazy. If you're running quad channel memory, you need a thread ripper. Okay, yeah, quad channel. So that means you got 4 banks on each side, which is a total of 8. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah. So, but yeah, PC Park Picker, if you never used them before, great site to be able to kind of check. It tells you estimated wattage, 912 watts, which is insane. But so the way that PSUs work, they generally work off of like a 90% efficiency. So like 90% of 1200 watts is what? Like 1,000? I don't know, my math is off right now. But you need the overhead, especially when it comes to like 59. I was running a game. Matter of fact, I'm about to show you. So I really had no intentions on playing games tonight on the stream. And I'm really not going to play this one, but I'm just going to show you a benchmark of MSI Afterburner. So I'm going to show you. So I know Division 2 is an old game. The only reason why I'm using Division 2 is because it runs like off the wall. So you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So there's a reason why I have a 1200 watt PSU. And that's because when it comes to like Division 2 and a couple other games, it really pushes like the graphics card and also CPU as well. But I got an overlay. I also been doing some testing too, just to see, because like some of these overlays, they like run into like issues when it comes to like the polling data. So like some of the numbers may be a little bit off, but like the 1% lows and the 0.1% lows and stuff like that. So let's see the paint. Had no intentions of gaming, right? I really didn't. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just correct this real quick. This video, take this off of window, make it full. All right, cool. So I'm gonna run this benchmark. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So I got like all of the settings is maxed out. All of the settings and stuff is maxed out, whatever. But you'll see what I'm talking about in this benchmark. So like, look, top left-hand corner, you see this gets up to, and I got everything stocked right now. So no fan curve is the default fan curve from MSI. Normally I would go in and change fan curve, stuff like that. But you see, this is getting up 550 watts and stuff like that. That's the reason why you need, and like this, I don't know what it is, but this particular game, it does that. Like it really uses the GPU kind of, depending on the area of the game and stuff like that, it fluctuates. So like when it gets to like almost like the 97%, it almost hits like 600 watts. Control does this as well. So if you ever play Control, like it pushes the GPU like crazy. So that's the reason why you need a really good PSU, because you don't know what, obviously if you're using like DLSS or stuff like that and it's rendering the image at a lower rate or whatever, lower resolution, and then it doesn't push the actual GPU as hard. But yeah, it is definitely, yeah. And this is old, and Division 2 is an old game. Like this came out like what, 2017, something like that. It's crazy. But yeah, so that's just something to think about, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to that type of stuff. Like I said, I wasn't really trying to, well, actually, since I'm in here, let me see. If you never played Division 2, I'm gonna show you what it looks like real quick. Some actual gameplay. Let me see. Yeah, the percentage of what it uses is crazy. Division 2 is making my i9 13900K go down. Yeah. So if you're familiar with any of my like content and stuff like that, well, I can't use the mouse, but over on the left hand side, so it has the Vcache cores. I have it split between the Vcache cores and the performance cores. That's on a 9950X 3D. So if the performance cores are pretty much at 0, and that's because those are the cores that the system should not be using. And I'm gonna reset the 1% loads and stuff like that. But that's how it should look. So if your system is set up right, you should, like when it comes to gaming, it should only be using the Vcache cores. If it's not, then you don't have your chip set up right. Definitely repo. Yeah, we definitely got to do a game. And just so y'all see, I'm gonna show you something. So like up on the graphics, I got pretty much everything maxed out. This old school game that's just based off of like pure rasterization. And then video, I'm at 4K. Don't worry about that because that's just a capture card. Let's see. And this game does have HDR, which the HDR in this game actually looks beautiful too. But yeah, it's like this game, and this game actually, as old as this game is, it still looks great. You know, so. And I just realized I'm stuck. I'm stuck on screen. Let me see what is going on. Why am I stuck? Let's see. Hello. Being stuck on screen is crazy. Wow. Okay, it disappeared. Will it come back? Let's see. I don't know. It may not come back.
Sometimes.
Well, that's the first time I disappeared on screen. I don't know what happened.
The division's doing good work. Thank you.
So, who did you piss off to end up on guard duty?
Leave it up to El Gato. I don't know. probably has something to deal with the oh, you know what? Let me check one more thing. It's magic. I will say that sometimes technology just does that, you know? Like you be like, dang, what happened? Okay, there we go. I'm back. All right, I'm back. I am back. All right, cool. So anyways, so back to what I was talking about earlier. And actually need to be able to hear the game.
You ever get tired of staring at the same spot, hoping to see something different?
That's right.
But really hoping you don't change the format to shoot it?
What is... Yeah, this AI stuff is... I don't even know if my audio is working right. Let's see. I ain't gonna even worry about it.
Weird how quiet it gets.
I ain't gonna worry about it. My audio was set up right earlier. But anyways, what I was saying was, like, if you ever paid attention to, depending on what you had going on,
detected.
it's like the audio is like coming out of my speakers right now, which is crazy. It's supposed to be coming out of my headset. But what I was going to say was that depending on where you are in the game, you could see the fluctuations when it comes to like the wattage, what's being used, all that good stuff. But the temps is good. It's working like it's supposed to. If you see the VRAM usage, the system usage is 11 gigabytes. The game is using 83. I'm getting shot from somewhere.
I'm gonna try and move.
You fucker!
You see that shot?
Launching grenade!
Ooh.
Shit! I'm out!
I won't let you down.
Back away now!
Yeah.
I think we're done here.
Let's finish up so we can get back to the settlement.
Let's see here. Guys, saying about repo. What game is this? This game is Division 2. Older game, but it's still like it still cooks though. Like for real, for real. Like I still rock with this game.
Taking the Viewpoint Museum away from True Sons will make it a lot harder for them to coordinate their troops and spread misinformation. All communications coming in and out of the building will be controlled from the production studio on the top floor. So you'll need to find it and secure it.
Reloading. Try to flank. Not so smart now.
But yeah, this was a fun game. And it definitely, but you're right, Repo. We definitely need to have a game night for sure. But yeah, this game still rocks though. So like right now, the MSI Supreme is using 500 watts. So that's like one of the things I was talking about. So depending on where you're, and this is an older game. A lot of old games still hold up. Sometimes mostly because of the solid gameplay. Yeah, Division 2 always been solid. Like for real.
I saw some hostiles enter the parking garage east of the main entrance. You might be
Yeah,
able to get
Division
in that way.
2 has definitely been solid. Definitely a solid game. And it's a loot heavy game too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Division 3. It's gonna be pretty good. And I haven't even played this in a while. Like, it's been a minute since I played.
This is Wade. So, the Division thinks they can just come in here. They don't know who they're fucking with. Go dark. Wait for the signal, then corner and kill.
They became far worse than the thing that they originally wanted away from. Oh yeah, COD has been trash. And I'm definitely going to pick up Battlefield 6. Let's see what we got going on here.
Oh no!
Guess you chose the wrong cover.
Where's
Down! Go for headshots! Reloading!
And by the way, I'm playing with a remote controller. I hate playing these type of games with mouse and keyboard. I'm not good at it, but I'm using the Xbox controller. So if you see my aim get a little off sometimes, it's the controller. Yeah. Let's see what we got. Oh, let's see. I want a new Borderlands. Has anybody played Borderlands 4? I never did want to spend the money for that game because I heard it was trash. Let me see. I didn't touch it based on that part again, but assume that they ain't got that much. Given their attitude towards the matter at the time, because I have not. Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, if you haven't played Division 2, yeah, when they come out with Division 3, it's gonna be crazy. I already know. Especially for this game to look the way that it looks. Definitely. And the level of progression in this game is crazy too, because like you could end up like the loot and stuff that you get is insane.
Portable electronic device detected.
And like there's other stuff that's in this game. It's pretty dope too.
Spread out. Take it slow. They could be in here already. Just give up, asshole!
Whoop, time to go. Let me see. Speaking of Ubisoft, I'm definitely looking forward to the ACV Black Flag remake. Oh wow, I didn't know they was doing a remake of that. Let me see. Oh, it was bullet sponge there. Okay. Let's see.
This will make your ears ring.
Casualty!
Any loot? Any loot? Nope. Okay. Nothing.
Electromagnetic charge detected.
Whoa. All right. So yeah, man, I appreciate everybody for chiming in, just taking a look at what we had going on, chiming into the stream. I'm definitely gonna have to call it a night. your boy got to work in the morning. All right, so definitely stay tuned. Like I said, I got some more content. I got some good content that's going to be coming up real soon, and I definitely appreciate everybody. Make sure that you share this stream, share any videos that you see on the channel. Make sure you join the Discord because we got a lot of great stuff that's going to be coming up real soon, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. I'll let y'all later. Peace.